The American Automobile Association found that since the state of Washington legalized marijuana, fatal crashes involving drivers under the influence of the drug doubled.
You have marijuana in the car?
Despite that, the only way for police to reliably detect marijuana's psychoactive agent THC in a driver is through a time-consuming blood test.
To pull over a driver and try to assess whether they have certain levels of THC in their system is really practically impossible right now, because by the time, for instance, an officer takes a sample, first of all, there has to be a warrant involved, there has to be transportation of the sample taken to a lab. All of this will last at least 2 hours or maybe more.
At Stanford University, researchers are working with THC samples like these that are 200,000 times the legal amount to drive with. Professor Shan Wang from Ningbo, China, is developing a detection method based on magnetic nanotechnology, the same technology he's worked with for years in screening for diseases like cancer and hepatitis. All that's needed is a suspect's saliva sample that's squeezed onto a chip containing a nanoparticle solution that reacts to THC. An officer can then read the results on a mobile app.
Turns out it worked like a charm. We can do this test as fast as 3 minutes, because if you don't do the test fast enough, the concentration in saliva and the blood will drop, so you may not be able to deter the driving under influence.
Even though recreational marijuana has become legal in a number of states, there's still no consensus on how much THC in the bloodstream should be considered illegal. But Wang says his test is both sensitive and quantifiable, two important factors needed to hold up in court. Across town in Oakland, California, a startup called Hound Labs is also developing a test that will be even less invasive, a breathalyzer for marijuana. But Wang says measuring breath is more difficult because the THC content is much lower.
I sincerely wish all the startups out there will be successful, because there's really no right tools for police officers to use right now. In terms of technical challenges, I think the concentration of THC in saliva right after use is very high. So for us, it's relatively easy to do fast and quantitative detection.
Wang hopes to have a prototype for field testing ready in several months and a product on the market in about a year's time. Police officers have already warned him about the imminent danger on the roads and of their hopes that science can come to the rescue. Mark New, CCTV, Stanford, California.